Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Salsa Izzatil Ummah. I'm from chemistry class A. My name is 2406031111019. I would like to show my respect to our lecturer is Professor Dr. Haji Munirul Abidin Minister Agama for giving me the opportunity the answering final semester exam question. Okay, now I will answering question is number 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. Question number 1. Jelaskan sejarah terbentuknya Daulah Bani Umayyah. Pada zaman siapa masa keemasan Daulah Bani Umayyah dan apa indikatornya? Apa perbedaan pola atau sistem pemerintahan Bani Umayyah dan masa pemerintahan sebelumnya? Jelaskan peradaban Islam pada masa dinasti Umayyah. Okay, number 1. The Bani Umayyah dynasty was established in 661 Masehi after the death of Khalifah Ali bin Abi Thalib. The founder of this Daulah was Muawiyah bin Abu Sufyan. After the political conflict and the Siffin war between Muawiyah and Ali bin Abi Thalib, Muawiyah managed to gain power through treaties and political influence. Thus, the Islamic system of government shifted from an elect khilafah system or shura to a form of monarchy or hereditary kingship. The golden age of the Umayyad dynasty occurred during the reign of Khalifah al-Walid bin Abdul Malik, ruled from 705 until 715 Masehi. Its golden indicator include the first, namely the expansion of the territory, namely Islam spread in Spain or Andalusia, North Africa, Central Asia to India. Then the second is the conclusion of large and magnificent mosques. Third, strong political stability and security. Then fourth, Arabic was made official language of the government. The difference is the pattern or system of the Umayyad dynasty government with the previous government or Khulafa ar-Rashidin is that the Khulafa ar-Rashidin government system is of deliberation or shura, while the Umayyad dynasty is of a monarchy or descending system. If the Khulafa ar-Rashidin system of government is based on religious teaching and deliberation, while the Umayyad dynasty system of government is centered on the Umayyad family and is more political. Islamic civilization during the Umayyad dynasty developed in several fields including science. There were religious science such as tafsir, hadith, and each other. Then there is medical science, mathematics, and astronomy. Number 2. Jelaskan sejarah terbentuknya Daulah Bani Abbasiyah. Pada zaman siapa masa keemasan Daulah Bani Abbasiyah dan apa indikatornya? Jelaskan kemajuan peradaban Islam pada masa dinasti Umayyah. Apa sebab-sebab kemunduran Daulah Bani Abbasiyah? Okay, number 2. The Abbasiyah dynasty was established in 750 Masehi after the collapse of the Umayyad dynasty. This dynasty was founded by Abdullah as-Saffah, who came from the descendants of Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib, the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. The Abbasiyah emerged after a revolt against Umayyad rule, which was considered unfair and overly favored the Arabs. With support from non-Arab groups or Mawali and the Khurasan region, their success in overthrowing the last Khalifah Umayyah, Marwan II, and moved the center of government from Damascus to Baghdad or Iran. The golden age of the Abbasiyah occurred during the reign of Harun al-Rashid from 786 until 809 Masehi, and his son Al-Ma'mun from 813 until 833 Masehi. The golden indicator is the progress of science, especially in the field of astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. Then the establishment of Baitul al-Hikmah, economic progress and trade locations in Baghdad, as well as flourishing in art and literature. Although science flourished during the Abbasiyah period, the Umayyad dynasty also brought advance in civilization, including massive territorial expansion to 3 continents, namely Asia, Africa, and Europe. Then, the construction of mosques and large societies such as the Umayyad Mosque and the Society of Kairouan. Arabic was made the official language, and the system of administration and government was improved. Factors that led to the collapse of the Abbasiyah Daulah include number one, power struggles between family members or civil wars. Number two, the government began to weaken and there was corruption and too much dependence on foreign ministers and commanders. Number three, the emergence of small breakaway dynasties such as the Fatimiyah dynasty in Mesir. Question number three, bagaimana sejarah penaklukan Spanyol? Bagaimana kemajuan peradaban Islam di Spanyol? Jelaskan sebab-sebab kejatuhan kekuasaan Islam di Spanyol. Okay, answer number three. The conquest of Spain began in 711 Masehi, led by a Muslim commander named Tariq bin Ziyad. He crossed the Strait of Gibraltar with Muslim troops from North Africa on the orders of Governor Musa bin Nusayr. They defeat the Visigoth king Roderick at the Battle of Guadalete. In a short time, almost the entire Iberian Peninsula, or Spain and Portugal, was conquered. The region became known as Al-Andalus and became part of Islamic rule. The progress of Islamic civilization in Spain is found in several fields, namely in the field of science. Andalusia has great scientists such as Ibn Rushdi in philosophy and Az-Zahrawi in medical science. Then in the field of education, they established the library and the University of Cordoba. Then in the field of architecture, they built magnificent buildings such as the Cordoba Mosque. Then in the field of art and literature, such as the development of Arabic literature, music and culture that harmonies with the local. Then religious tolerance such as Muslim, Christian, and Jews. The causes of the collapse or fall of Islamic rule in Spain were number one, political divisions, namely the division of power into small kingdoms. Then number two, attack from Christian kingdom in northern Spain such as Castile, Aragon, and Leon. They took advantage of the political weakness of Muslims to seize the Society of Granada, which fell in 1492 Masehi. Number three, there were internal conflict among the Muslims with many quarrels and power struggles. Number six, jelaskan beberapa teori yang menjelaskan tentang masuknya Islam di Indonesia. Jelaskan pula strategi para wali songo dalam mendakwahkan Islam di Indonesia. Answer number six, there are three theories of the entry of Islam into Indonesia. Theory number one is Gujarat theory. This theory proposed by G. Pishnapel and supported by Christian Dom. This theory states that Islam entered Indonesia moved by trade from Gujarat, Western India, who sailed through the Strait of Malacca. Theory number two is the Makkah theory. This theory argues that Islam entered Indonesia directly from Mecca or Arabia in the 7th century Masehi, brought by Arab travelers who had the spirit of Da'wah. Theory number three is Persian theory. This theory argues that Islam entered Indonesia both by trade from Persia or Iran in the 13th century, as evidenced by the existence of several cultural and traditional similarities between Persia and Indonesia, such as the commemoration of 10th Muharram and the use of Persian terms in spelled Arabic letters. Wali Songo dakwah strategi in spreading Islam is by means of cultural acculturation, namely by combining Islamic teaching with local culture such as Sunan Kalijogo, using shadow puppets and gamelan to convey Islamic teachings. Then, establish pesantren as a center of religious learning and teach the Al-Quran, fiqh, and morals. Furthermore, the dakwah strategy is through marriage and social relation, namely establishing relationship with traditional leaders and nobles through marriage. Then, through a peaceful and gradual approach by spreading Islam without coercion. And being good example or example for the community by being honest, patient, polite, and generous. Number 7. Bagaimana pengaruh imperialisme Barat terhadap peradaban Islam? Jelaskan upaya-upaya Barat dalam menghapus jejak-jejak peradaban Islam di mata dunia. Answer number 7. Western imperialism has had major influence on Islamic civilization, especially since the 18th and 19th centuries, when Islamic countries began to decline. Western nations such as Britain, France, and the Netherlands came with military, economic, and political power to colonize Muslim territories, including in the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia. Their arrival was not only to control natural resources, but also had a major impact on Islamic religion, culture, education, and governance system. One of the major influences of imperialism was the weakening of Islamic institutions, such as madrasah, mosques, and Sharia law institutions. The West replaced the Sharia-based governance system with their colonial legal system. In addition, Arabic and local language were replaced by colonial language such as English, French, or Dutch in education and administration. This caused the Muslim generation to start losing their identity and cultural roots. The effort made by the West to erase traces of Islamic civilization include number one is the abolition of the Islamic education system. The West replaced the Islamic education system with colonial schools that did not teach religious knowledge. Number two, change in law and government. Islamic law or Sharia was abolished and replaced with Western law. Number three, the division of the Islamic world. This division facilitated Western domination and hindered the revival of Islamic civilization. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm sorry if my many mistake. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.